In a land once filled with hope, young Hadassah lived in quiet joy in Israel. Every morning, as the first light of dawn gently kissed the rolling hills, she would laugh and play with her friends, her bright eyes full of wonder and promise. But one dreadful morning, that peace was shattered. As Hadassah awoke, the distant roar of approaching soldiers and the terrifying sound of clashing hooves invaded the stillness. In an instant, her home was set ablaze and chaos erupted. Her family scattered to the winds. Amidst the clamor and the rising smoke, her gentle kinsman, Mordecai, rushed to her side. In a voice trembling with both sorrow and determination, he whispered, "Keep hidden until this fury passes." With a heavy heart, Hadassah, only a child in those innocent days, huddled behind a crumbling wall, her eyes wide with terror, as the once familiar world burned around her. Fleeing the devastation, Hadassah and Mordecai embarked on a perilous journey toward a distant land, the bustling Hebrew community in Babylon. The road was long and fraught with uncertainty, yet with each step, the promise of a new beginning beckoned. In Babylon, a city alive with strange customs and vibrant markets, they found solace in the comforting embrace of the chief rabbi's home. Within these humble walls, Hadassah discovered tender care and a spark of hope. She helped in the synagogue and at the bakery, where the aroma of freshly baked bread mingled with prayers. Each day, as she watched the bustling life outside, she began to sense that even amid exile and sorrow, life was slowly beginning to rebuild itself. A quiet transformation unfolding in her gentle, observant eyes. As the years passed, Hadassah grew into a young woman of grace and strength. By her early teens, her laughter had given way to a quiet determination, and her eyes, once filled only with wonder, now burned with purpose. Rumors began to circulate throughout Babylon. Queen Vashti had fallen from grace, and the king would soon seek a new consort. In hushed conversations and whispered gossip in the crowded market, Hadassah's name emerged like a soft promise. "They say she has a light within her," one merchant remarked. In that moment, destiny beckoned her beyond the familiar walls of exile. Drawn into the royal selection process, her inner beauty shone brighter than ever, promising a role far greater than she had ever imagined. The day came when Hadassah, now a young woman in her mid-teens, stepped into the glittering halls of King Ahasuerus' palace. As she walked with measured grace before the king, her humble origins faded into the background. In that luminous moment, the king, moved by both her beauty and the quiet power of her spirit, bestowed upon her a new name, Esther. No longer merely Hadassah, the frightened refugee, she was transformed into Queen Esther, a beacon of hope for a people yearning for salvation. In the splendor of the palace, amid ornate decorations and the soft glow of golden chandeliers, her courage shone like a brilliant star. The people saw not just a queen, but a savior whose very presence promised redemption. But even in the midst of newfound splendor, darkness lurked within the palace corridors. Haman, the king's trusted advisor, harbored a deep and burning hatred for the Hebrews. His eyes glinted with malice as he meticulously plotted against them, fueled by ancient enmities and personal pride. In secret gatherings, Mordecai and the elders, their voices heavy with despair, pleaded for deliverance. "Our people are doomed if we do not act," they whispered amid tearful prayers. The threat was stark, a decree of death that would see an entire people vanish, swallowed by cruelty and neglect. This shadow of treachery would test the resolve of Queen Esther like never before. In a moment of divine reckoning, the call of destiny echoed through Queen Esther's heart. Knowing that approaching the king uninvited could mean death, she found within herself an unyielding resolve. For 3 days and nights she fasted and prayed, not alone, but with her ladies-in-waiting and the entire Jewish community in Susa. Their voices rose in supplication, seeking divine favor for the impossible task ahead. With each passing moment, her courage was forged in the fire of faith, preparing her to stand where no one dared. She declared, "If I perish, I perish." In that brave declaration lay the hope of her people. The risk was monumental, but so was the promise of salvation. Every heartbeat resonated with the weight of a nation, and the sacred duty to stand against tyranny became her own. With the fate of her people upon her shoulders, Queen Esther stepped into the royal court. Long ago, God had commanded King Saul to destroy the Amalekites, yet the task remained unfinished. Haman was no ordinary adversary. He was a descendant of the Amalekite king, the very enemy King Saul had failed to vanquish. Now, the battle of generations stood before her. But Esther did not confront him in the palace, where unseen dangers lurked. Instead, she waited, and when the moment was right, she revealed the truth to King Ahasuerus, the wicked decree, the plot of annihilation. The king's fury ignited, and justice turned upon Haman. The very gallows he built for the innocent became his own fate, sealing a victory foretold long ago. As Susa erupted in celebration, King Ahasuerus turned to Queen Esther with deep admiration. "Many queens have sat upon this throne, but none like you. Your beauty is great, but your wisdom is greater. You have saved a nation, and your name will never be forgotten." Every smile, every tear of relief, and every cheer in the crowd told the story of a people reborn from the ashes of despair. In that moment, the legacy of Queen Esther was sealed, a shining example of how one brave soul can transform the fate of many. Today, the legacy of Queen Esther endures, a timeless tale of loss, courage, and redemption. Born in exile and transformed by destiny, she dared to defy the tyrants of her time, guided by her unshakable faith. Her story reminds us that even in our darkest hours, when hope seems but a distant memory, one courageous heart can ignite a revolution of light. When we dare to answer our divine call, miracles unfold, and generations are inspired. The story of Esther is not just a chapter in history. It is a living testament to the power of resilience, the strength of faith, and the promise that hope will always prevail. Discover the full epic journey of Queen Esther, her triumph, her legacy, and her timeless message. Read it now, available on Amazon.